times he's referred to as the Messiah or a Masih. There is a whole chapter of the Quran. The Quran is 114 chapters. There's a whole chapter of the Quran named after Mary. So when you talk to a Muslim and you say, I want to talk to you about the gospel, he says, oh, I know about Jesus, I know about Christianity. But what he doesn't understand, and what you need to understand and make him understand, is that the Jesus they know is different than the Jesus we know. I grew up with stories of Jesus, but then when I read the Gospels in the Bible, I was like, this is not the same thing I read before. This is a whole different guy. You guys know about the story of Jonah, the big fish? Now, the big fish is not the main part of that story. What happens with Jonah, first of all, it's one of the shortest books of the Bible. 4 chapters. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably the shortest one, right? I might be mistaken. The story of Jonah is that he was commissioned by God. He was a prophet in Israel. He was commissioned by God to go to a city of Assyria called Nineveh. And he was supposed to go there, tell the people to repent, turn to God, and God was going to forgive them. Jonah didn't want to do that. He was supposed to go east to Nineveh. He went west on a ship. So God caused a storm. People on the boat, they threw him overboard because they found out that it was because of him. The fish appeared, or the whale, whatever you want to call it, swallowed him up, brought him back, spat him on the shore. He walked 3 days until he arrived in Nineveh. He went into Nineveh, he preached to the people repented, God forgave them, and Jonah was angry. He was so angry that afterwards he went outside the town, sat on a hill, and waited for God to change his mind and destroy the city. Why was that? First of all, Jonah wasn't sent there as a prophet. He was sent there as a missionary and an evangelist. That's what his job was. He was supposed to go on a mission to evangelize to these people of Nineveh. The reason he didn't want to go there was because these people were Assyrians. They were not Israelites. So he was saying they don't deserve God's kindness. They're too far gone. They're too much of heathens. They're too lost. So we got to ask ourselves, are we modern day Jonahs? Do we look at the Muslims and say, these guys are just lost. There's no way that we can save them. They're like Assyrians. Let them be. We have an opportunity here. We have hundreds of thousands of Muslims leaving Muslim countries, coming to our shores, coming to our streets. 9 out of 10 of them don't understand what the religion is about, and they're dejected by it. So our opportunity is to evangelize to them. But in order to evangelize to a Muslim, for one, you have to know what it is you believe in. You have to understand your theology. You have to know your basic beliefs in Christianity. Number 2, you have to understand their theology and their beliefs. What is it? What makes them think? What is it that they believe? Incidentally, the city of Nineveh still exists today. It's called Mosul. It's in northern Iraq. It's a city that's been devastated by ISIS over the past 2 years. It's a city which had a Christian population since the 1st century after Christ. This year was the first year after over 2,000 years that they did not have Christian Sunday services in that city, because the Christian population of that city is either dead or gone or dispersed. So this is what's happening. So our brothers and sisters, Christian brothers and sisters in the Middle East, are paying with their lives of their children. And what they're doing, that sacrifice they're making, is their testimony to their neighbors. Militants are coming to their homes in the middle of the night, putting the gun to their heads, telling them convert or die, and they're dying, and the neighbors are seeing that. And that's the greatest testimony of a Christian, to have that kind of strong faith. The great